What's up, guys? It's Rick Ginn, and today we are talking about how to get free leads for wholesaling. Most people overlook this, but it's imperative. You've got to know where to get free leads, especially if you're just getting started out in wholesaling. My name is Rick Ginn. I've been wholesaling for 21 years today, and we are going to go step by step and tell you where to go find free wholesale leads right now. So if you just got started or you just trying to figure out if you want to get started in wholesaling, my suggestion is always to start out with free leads. Every guru is going to lead you towards some sort of paid way to do it. There's a reason for that because that's how they get paid. But honestly, you have got to learn this game. So what we also want to do is find where we can find the most highly motivated leads, because there is a huge difference in the type of leads you're going to get. Now, before I get into this, I want to preface this by saying there's only two types of people that sell a house, and you can break this down in any category. Number one, you have people that want to sell their house. People that want to sell their house typically want top dollar, usually need the assistance of a realtor, and have all the time in the world to sell it. Now, these people, let me forewarn you right now, avoid them like the plague. They're literally a waste of your time. You will never get a great wholesaling deal from them, and you will just run in circles and you will never get anywhere with them. These people all go to realtors. Now, the type of people that you really want to focus on are people that need to sell their house. And how do we define need to sell their house? They have some sort of pressing matter, either personally or financially, AKA a foreclosure, code violation, someone lost a job, tax delinquency, and if they don't take action, they're going to lose their house and probably get no equity. These people need to sell their house. They're on an urgent timeline, and they typically want to work with someone like a wholesaler like us to get it done. Now, it doesn't mean you can't find a deal from somebody who wants to sell their house, but the problem is it's so exhausting working with those people. Sometimes people who want to sell their house will wind up into the need to sell their house category. But a lot of times it takes them from 6, 12 to 18 months to learn that lesson, and the market sets them straight. So the leads I'm going to go through today are particularly focused on people that need to sell their house, and it's a free potential wholesale lead. That's it. So guys, the biggest tip I can give you in wholesaling, and gurus never tell you this, stop wasting your time chasing down leads of people who just casually want to sell their house. Just because they put it on the market does not mean they're motivated to sell. And motivated means they want to sell now and get it done. So if you do that, you have to accept whatever price you can take depending on the condition of the house and the time frame you have. And those are the people that you want to work with. The other ones, honestly, you're just going to waste your time. You're probably going to buy some course. They're going to teach you how to speak to real estate agents. You don't know how to speak to them. You don't know the lingo. And these people don't really need to sell their house. But if you offer them top dollar, they're willing to sell you their house. Those are the ones we don't want to avoid. So let's hop into it. Do me a favor. You can let us know what market you're in. The reason I come on Monday night is just to give you guys more access to me. And heck, we can just have a heck of a lot more conversations here. So what I'm going to do is we will go through all these leads. We'll debate them. We'll put them up there. And then what I'll do is, as soon as I'm done there, if you guys want to hop on and do a one-on-one, I went ahead and put it under the comments under Rick Ginn. You can't miss it. So let's first start out. And by the way, I have no, no particular order for these. I love people who rag on free leads. Let me ask you this. If somebody offered you your free car, would you take it? You bet you would. And just because you can get a free lead doesn't mean it's going to be easy. In fact, sometimes they're actually very hard to get because you have to earn these type of lists to get them. But the reality is a lot of gurus, a lot of coaches, they avoid the free part. And number one, free usually can't get hurt. Number two, it's a great learning tool for you. And number three, you got to cut your teeth on something before you get paid leads, because if you start off with paid leads, like most coaching programs convince you to do, because that's how they make money off of you, you're most likely going to fail because it puts so much pressure on you up front, and you feel the stress of that, the coaching cost, the $5,000 or $10,000 program, and then you're spending another, excuse me, 10 to 15 grand on marketing up front. No wonder you're stressed out. Guys, that's a lot. I mean, that's worse than most what universities charge you. Oh boy, I swallowed that the wrong way. So, the idea of using free leads is to help train you and make you and help you evaluate how and when to talk to motivated sellers. That's it. And I'd rather you cut your teeth on leads like this, because you can go through thousands. It's going to cost you a lot of time and energy. But can you imagine if you started out doing direct mail, you had no experience wholesaling? I don't care if you got someone's coaching program. It's going to be massive pressure on you, because these leads cost money. And if you don't know how to talk to them, in my opinion, you are wasting your money. So let's learn how to talk to people and gain our skills on how to build rapport with people. And as we get to it, each week you get more and more confident. So I'd rather you work towards a shot where you actually had a great shot at getting a motivated seller, and then your confidence builds each week, as opposed to putting $15,000 all in and you are under massive pressure for the next 90 days to get a deal done. See, the pressure alone will make you make more mistakes than what you would make on the way me and Zach are going to teach you how to do it. So let's dive into it without further ado. And let's do it, because guys, listen, I always think of the day when I started out wholesaling, and most people who teach this business, they just try to talk so over your head and show you how superior and advanced they are. It doesn't matter. Even though I've been doing this 21 years, I pretty much know every skill set in this business, but I learn every day. Is I look at everybody as you just started this business. And honestly, think about this as like if you started out golfing. I suck at golf, by the way, but I rather take a professional golf trainer, rather take somebody that had no skill sets or bad habits in wholesaling than they rather take someone brand new than someone who had 6 or 12 months of bad habits. And this is the same thing. So if you catch on to this, so if you've been stuck on, oh my God, I got to use this fancy piece of software, or I got to use this sophisticated list, I got to use a VA. Guys, for 7 years, I went out there and hunted myself. I had no assistance. I had nothing. My wife helped me out after a couple of years. But honestly, you have to learn to go out and hunt and kill the prey yourself. Once you do that, you can teach others around you to do it. So many of you are trying to outsource it right off the bat when you don't even have a deal under your wing. Guys, get to 5 deals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guarantee you're fit for this business. You can't get to 5. We need to have another discussion, because you're doing something wrong, period. Now, the time frame it takes you to get there, we can debate that one all day long. Some of you will do it in a week, some 30 days, some 90, some 180, some 2 years. Don't ask me why. Different markets, different work ethics. I can't control everything. So the first thing I want you to do when you get started on this, go over to freewholesaling.com, teach you the basics. Every list you need to know to get started is in there, because I can't cover it in just like the hour and a half I go over on this live stream. So check out freewholesaling.com. I'll cover everything in it. Now, I'm going to start out probably with one of my staple favorites, which will never go away. It's going to be code violations. Hands down, the absolute, this is what got me through my first 2 years of wholesaling. And honestly, I still use it today. Why? Code violations is basically when somebody did something in the house. They either boarded up the windows, or they painted the house purple. They let the grass get really high, and they get reported. Now the neighbors report them, or a city employee reports them. And if they don't fix it within usually 30 days, they get a violation, and they impose anywhere from $50 to $100 a day. And the fine can really rack up. So why do I like this list? Because where there's smoke, there's fire. So it's much easier to see the smoke than it is the fire. That's the code violations list. It will never change. Guys, this is one of my favorite lists. Is tried and true. Now, getting the list, you're going to get some resistance getting it. I'm just going to tell you up front. You overcome resistance with persistence. That's it. Don't give up. Be super nice. Use your rapport building skills we teach at freewholesaling.com. Use it on the city employees and get that list. You're not going to bat 100% on all these lists I'm going to go over with. That's okay. We're fine with that. But if you don't try, you'll never get it. If you go, oh, I might get rejected. Guys, just go out and try it. Part of getting these lists is cutting your teeth on if you're going to become a great wholesaler or not. If you can't go out and get the list or even attempt it, then I already know where it's going. So stop being a wimp and just go out and do it. The next one. And by the way, I'm not going to go off the traditional government list we talk about. I'll pepper some in here, but I want you to understand where this goes. I'm going to give you the two that a lot of you struggle the most with. Number one, the water shutoff list. This is simply a list that's derived from your city or county. Now, it's got to be a public utilities. This is typically the water company. And when the water gets shut off, there is a list of addresses and people where they've shut the water off. If it is a public utility company, it means the taxpayers own it. And you technically have a right to that information. But these companies all have privacy policies. How you navigate through the privacy policy is going to dictate if you get it or not. I'll give you full disclosure. This is one of the most challenging lists of them all to get. But this list, when the water's shut off, there's no showers going on. There's no running water for drinking. You can't wash dishes. I don't even need to give you the graphic part of the whole toilet thing. It's bad news. So if it's a tenant gone bad, if it's a landlord that ran out of money, these are high motivation, guys. Think about it. If the water is off, the probability of selling that house is probably 70% or more. That's why it's such a great list. And the other one, which we often talk about, is fire damaged properties. You guys way overthink this one. It's simple. Now, let me give you a disclaimer before you do this. I love firefighters. They're massively underpaid. They do a job that most of us will do. And the last thing I want you to do is beat up your fire department for this list. They keep an ongoing record of any type of fire that has basically started, because that's their job, is to fight fires. And so sometimes there's simple kitchen fires. Sometimes it's a whole house fire. There's all sorts of types of fires. You just want to get a record of all of the last 30 days of fires. And then basically you will cross-reference, reach out to those homeowners. You either skip trace them, mail to them, however you want to do it. And you connect with them. If the house catches on fire, they're probably going to have an insurance claim. People always go, Rick, how do I know what the rehab is on it? It's easy. Number one, the fire department will give an estimate. Somewhat guessing, but these guys have been around a lot longer than you and me ever have. So I take their word for it. And number two, just ask the homeowner for an insurance estimate. They usually do it within 72 hours after a fire. It goes quickly. Now, they should want to share this information publicly with you if they want to sell the house. I don't expect you to figure out what the damage is on a fire damaged properties. The last thing you have to understand is it takes a longer time to sell a fire damaged property because it is a much more unique type of buyer. A lot of investors are super scared of any type of fire damaged properties. They don't understand it. They think they're going to be tied up in paperwork forever. And for that reason, they will take longer. So if you do these types of properties, guys, you have to get a 90-day inspection period because it's going to take you all 90 days. Hopefully it'll take you less, but I just want to give you more room than you would do in a normal property, if that makes sense to you. So that's it. Okay, so let's bounce around and really let's start ramping this thing up here. So I'm going to share with you. I could probably do this for 4 hours, but I try to take the best ones of it. So let's talk about free places where you can find leads all day long. Number one, arrest records. Yeah, that's right. I said arrest records. I go, oh, Rick is crazy. What's he talking about? I found this out by accident from one of my motivated tellers that was going to jail for basically a simple DUI, multiple DUIs. So here's what I found. If you find people that get felony offenses, simple battery, I'm not here to judge people, and DUI offenses are the most probable. When they get their third offense, they usually go away to jail for usually anywhere from 3 to 7 years, depending on Hopefully nobody got hurt. What I do is I look up the arrest records for that week or that month, however you want to do it. And you can see how many offenses they had, and you can see if they own real estate. If I see 3 offenses on a felony, especially for a DUI, I already know where this is going. I am going to find out if they own a property in that county, and then I'm going to reach out. I'm most likely going to cold call them. I typically drop them a letter in the mail, and I do reverse driving for dollars with my team. That's it. That's how we do arrest records. You can text them. They do like text. Text do work really, really well. And you can pick one of those 4 methods and easily connect with them. Are these difficult deals to do? No, they are strange. I'm not going to lie to you, but remember, a lot of it can be done over the phone. If you're not comfortable doing it in person, do it over the phone. And remember the motivation. That's what we're focusing on, is the motivation of the seller. The more motivated they are, the better the wholesale deal you're going to get. So if the word arrest scares you, I apologize. But guys, if people are arrested and they're going away and you own a piece of property, let me ask you, if you own a piece of property going away for 5 or 7 years, are you just going to hope and pray that property's there when you get back? You're probably going to sell it or have somebody else take care of it. You might as well take a shot at it. And to be honest with you, some of these are the best deals I've ever done. Not a lot of rehab, mostly updating. And they wind up being great rental houses or just like really, really light rehab. So that's it, guys. People are so scared of arrest records. Like, how do I look up arrest records? It's so simple. You just Google the county you're in. Most of you have sheriffs that run it, some city police, and just look at, they keep it all on public records. There's a reason why arrests are so public, because it's used as a form of embarrassment. Let's be honest. You all see those mug shots, right? I think everyone's goal is to avoid the mugshot shot, right? So, but arrest records happen all the time, guys. And depending on the type of offense they do, DUIs is going to be 90% of them. You get arrested once, you get a warning, you get probations. The second time, you do a smaller stint in jail. The third time, they throw the book at you pretty hard. So most of the people I do in arrest records are multiple offenders of DUIs. And I find out if they own property in that county, and boom, I hit it out of the park with it. So, yeah, they are a little bit strange. It is what it is. Make sure your safety is always done. And then God forbid, if you have to go to jail to get something signed, I have bought these properties while people have been in jail. So you book an appointment to go down to the jail. Yeah, you got to go through a metal detector. You get patted down, and then you sit down with a guard supervised, and they sign the documents right there. It's not that big of a deal. So honestly, you're safer than the jail than anywhere else. So if you look at that, like it's kind of fun to kind of think about it that way. So just an idea for you. Okay, this next one you all overskip. So I just got a lead on Friday on this one. And this one I never really talk about too much. And I need to make it more of a point. And I'm going to start putting it in freewholesaling.com. And I'm going to throw it up here. You ready? General contractors. That's right. General contractors. Now, most of us don't use general contractors. I use them quite a bit because of all the projects I'm always working on. But when I actually got started out, a good friend of mine was a general contractor. He just got his license. And I remember sitting down with him saying, what do you do on the jobs where you bid and they churn them down? He goes, nothing. I just move on. I figure they don't have the money and I can't do it. I said, what if you could give me a warm introduction? And if I can buy the house, then maybe you could do the rehab in there, or I'll just give you a referral fee. Hey, that's fine. So I started out, and whenever I bought one of those houses, I'd offer him a marketing fee of $1,000. He started demanding more. And then he just said, listen, whoever you sell it to, could you front load me to be the lead contractor? And so here's what I did. We wound up on about $1,500 a deal. I made a lot of money. Some were tight. And then here's what I did. I just flip-flopped it on him. I said, I tell you what, you give me a warm introduction. I'll give you a warm introduction. And if they wind up using you, you got to give me a minimum of $500 back. And if it's a great deal, you can give me up to $1,500. He's like, no problem. He says the $1,500, it has to be $50,000 or more. Now, guys, that was probably 10 years ago. The numbers are much bigger when we go on it, but I never preload them just like realtors saying, hey, you have to use this person. You always have to give your cash buyers a choice because remember, their choice number one is buying your wholesale deals from you. That's the most important aspect of what you do. So, guys, general contractors, did you know more than 50% of their bids get turned down? And you got to understand, most of the bids are not like glamorous, beautiful houses. These are rough houses, rental houses that are run down, that need new roofs, new plumbing, new electrical, new flooring, need full paint, HVAC systems, $50,000 to $100,000 worth of work. I just got one the other day. It was a $130,000 bid. The tenants have stopped paying rent because everything's so dangerous in the house. Now, here's the really cool part. I got the lead. I told the contractor, I will cut him in on the deal. I just give him a marketing fee, and I called them. We called the owner, me and one of my acquisitions persons, and you know what the lady says right off the bat? The house is pristine. It's in perfect shape. It's dynamite. My contractor told me, Rick, if you walk in that house, you're going to be in shock. The outside looks fine. You walk inside, it's like a horror story. So we have an appointment later this week to meet her inside the house. Check this out. She hasn't been inside the house in 12 years. And she's had the same renters, I think, for 10 or 11 years. And they've done all the repairs themselves. Can you imagine how bad this is going to be? I'm going to try to film it. It's going to be that good. And I love it when you have an older couple that has not been to the property in 12 years. They live out of town. They're going to come in town and look at it. They think they have a pristine asset. They think the contractor is absolutely nuts and crazy. So the contractor is going to meet us there to help us walk through, because he says the house is so dangerous, you shouldn't even be renting it out. Nobody should be living in it. It needs a good 3 months worth of rehab. So, but guys, general contractors, they churn down bids all the time, meaning people that do not pay them. And a lot of you guys you're so busy chasing realtors because that's what the gurus tell you to do. Go find a realtor with an expired listing and save them. They don't want to be saved. Remember, the seller's in control, not the realtor. Or you get a combination of a crazy seller and a crazy realtor. It's not fun at all. So, guys, general contractors, one of the best places to get. Now, it doesn't stop with general contractor. You guys can put in a comment, what other type of person would be a potential lead that you wouldn't think off right off the bat, nobody ever talks about, but what would it be? And I would love to hear some of your posts in here, because you have to remember, as a wholesaler, you have to learn how to be resourceful. If you're not resourceful, you're going to get killed in this business. Let me look here. Okay, well, let's just keep it rolling here. Let's see. So if I'm going to let them do that, Handyman, all the time. The Handyman's always called first. The Handyman scratches his head, then he calls the GC. So a lot of times you work. I work with 3 or 4 different types of handymen. And by the way, there are handy women out there. They do jobs all the time. That's like these people want me to do full plumbing, HVAC, and electrical, and I'm not licensed and ready to do all that. And I told them it's about a $40,000 job. So the handyman, they know the numbers, and you get a lot of cheap landlords that call the handyman, and that's why the handyman's there in the first place. So don't overlook the handyman, because I get a lot of deals. Now, I don't have to pay them nearly as much. And that's true, which, someone just put up a good one here. I'm going to put it up. So I would love to get suggestions from you guys, because the more we brainstorm, okay, I'm going to mark these off here. Let's see. So it says moving companies and junk removal companies. Absolutely. I'm going to add one more on there that I did not put, that you guys just refresh me. And by the way, this is one of my most innovative ways I've ever found the best deals possible. So Una's correct on this. Moving companies, the problem is moving companies a little bit late, but not bad, because you can talk to moving companies, because people get bids on moving companies and they use other companies, and that's at least a lead. And you could like buy a lunch or you could buy a nice gift card for a moving company. Junk removal companies, absolutely. But here's what most companies are derived at when it comes to see, these are good ones. Okay. Okay. We'll keep going here. We're gonna we're gonna talk about all the stuff that nobody like really shares the dirt secrets on this stuff. Um, ready for this? So junk removal companies go right along with estate companies. Holy crap, guys. These things are home runs. Let me tell you, an estate company is basically a lot of times they come with probates. When somebody dies, all their belongings, garages are packed. I've had warehouses packed, and estate companies are interested in what? The estate stuff, the junk. I'm interested in the real estate. So if you approach them and say, listen, if I buy the real estate, I will provide you a marketing fee. Now I'll provide anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 depending on the deal, but they have got to give me the front track on it. And by the way, I let them, you can have all the estate stuff. You can handle the whole thing. And I actually turn around and you can use them as a service to your clients that are in probate. Now, I'm going to tell you, these people, I'm just going to use the word a little bit seedy. There's no other word for it. They're different. They're a little strange, and you've got to understand them. So some of them are straight up scamsters. I'll tell you up front. Some of them actually really want to help people out, but you got to make sure you vet them and make sure they're actually on the up and up. And if they do it, think about this. They get so many incoming calls. Typically from older people, they're some of the best leads you will ever get. So they're worth taking out for a cup of coffee, getting them a gift card. I've gotten a lot of deals from estate companies. I still work with 2 right now. I don't get a ton, but I get 2 or 3 a year. But when I get them, they are monsters. I get a lot of pack rack houses with this, but they will sit there and go through all the crap. But here's a really cool thing. They'll get rid of the furniture and everything. So our agreement is they sell all the stuff, they get rid of it and clear the house so I can sell the vision of the real estate. Guys, I'm telling you, anytime you get crap left in a house, if you think it's worth anything, you're dead wrong. It's going to cost you more money to get the crap out of the house because you want to sell the real estate division. Nobody wants to look at some person's crap in the garage and stuff like that. Get rid of it as fast as you humanly possibly can. Estate companies, guys, phenomenal. How do you find estate companies? The easiest way, yes, you can do Google searches. These companies still do classified ads in the newspaper because that's what old people still read. I swear to you. If you go to your local diner on those placemats, you'll see them in a big ad there. A lot of old people like to do that. I like going to a diner other than I shouldn't be eating any of that food, but that's a whole nother story. We'll get started on that. Jonathan says here, I've seen people own and operate estate companies really passionate at helping out others. You're correct, Jonathan. You got to find the ones that actually want to help out. There are some people just in it for the money, and they're an absolute nightmare, and you got to be very, very careful with them and make sure that they understand what they're getting into with it. So awesome. Okay, let's keep moving. So if you guys have ideas, post it on here, and I'll tell you if I had it on my list or not. I'll be brutally honest with you, and we'll go from there. I thought the junk removal one was that was stellar. That was stellar. So DeAndre says, hey, Rick, what's a good script to say to these estate companies? You just do an introduction. Go, hey, my name's Rick Ginn, and I buy houses for cash in the area. Typically, the houses are run down or they need some work. And I know you're in the estate business, and you're in the business of liquidating people's estate and getting it all cleaned out and organized. I think we have a complimentary service because if all I want to do is buy the real estate and I need help getting rid of people's junk as well, then you can help me out with any current deals I get. And then if you get a deal and they're interested in selling the real estate, if you can give me a warm lead, I'm happy to give you a marketing fee off of it. And I will let you sell the stuff. I don't want anything to do with the stuff on the inside. It would be a symbiotic relationship. I focus on the real estate. You will focus on the estate. We both win and help out the clients. And then I'll help you with the deals that I find without you, and you can do the estate and we can work out a deal for that. And then on your deals, if I can buy the real estate, I will cut you in and give you a nice marketing check for the result of the sale of the properties. That sound fair? It's just simple like that. Don't overthink it. So, okay, I'm stacking up some lists here. I'll keep moving through. These are good, man. See, nobody has conversations like this. It drives me nuts. Okay, the next one. I got a lot to get through here. Jesus. Now, this one's a little stickier. This is like sticky waters you got to walk in. But I'm going to share a little secret with you. It's going to be dirty, but it works. Hard money lenders, guys. Hard money lenders reject more people than they ever accept. Why is that important to you? Like, what the hell? I don't understand. They're not a GC. Because you get a lot of new investors, wholesalers that want to go get hard money right away. This is a terrible, terrible strategy 9 times out of 10 in the beginning. Me and Zach always teach you to do a sign path to profit so you minimize your risk. But there's a lot of coaches, gurus, and mentors. Most of these coaches, by the way, have their own hard money programs. They got cute little titles on them. And in fact, they'll even tell you how you can beat the wholesaling legislation, the anti-legislation by, we'll show you how to fund it and do the whole thing. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. That's not really wholesaling. That is a strategy, but it's not wholesaling. Once you do that, you get in fix and flip. And let me give you a full disclosure on that. If that was your strategy, you're better off just using a hard money lender, because by using these gurus and coaches, they'll give you the money for just 90 days. You're going to pay all the points up front, just like you do on a hard money, between 2 and 4 points. They tell you you don't pay interest till on the back end. And here's the best part. You got to give them 25% of your profits. And on the 91st day, you have no rights to the property. Guys, you're better off if you had a choice between that and just a straight up hard money lender, do the hard money lender every time, because you have 1 year to make it right. Real estate never goes perfect. That's why I like you guys assigning the contracts. Just so you know, you don't have to use this strategy to get around wholesaling anti-legislation laws. It is a ploy. So you will buy more of their courses and use more of their products, because a hard money lender does have a risk. But when they sign a 90-day deal with 25% and you pay all the fees and points, it is a one-sided transaction and you're going to get killed. Don't do it. So hard money lenders, when they decline these people, they need somewhere to go. Now, if you are fortunate enough to work with a hard money lender and say, listen, anytime you decline a property, can you give that lead to me? And if I buy it, I will give you a finder's fee for it, a marketing fee. I'm going to be honest with you. Most hard money people are very tired. They're very bitter and they're very old. I'm just saying. I do some hard money, but not a lot. I only do it and I underwrite the people that actually do it. So hard money people secretly hope you fail. That's just the truth of the matter. So knowing about hard monies, here's another little trick. There's people out there that you can run seeking deals, seeking funding for your deals, ? Looking for hard money. You could actually run ads on that, get stuff fed into you. Now, I know you guys aren't looking to lend hard money. And by the way, you guys aren't licensed brokers or anything like that, but you could pair up with somebody else. But what happens is when you run these type of ads, you attract the newbie wholesalers. And that's where you can try to partner up on a deal with them and maybe use your expertise to help them with the path to profit. Because here's my opinion, guys. I think you're actually saving people by not letting them use hard money lenders like all these gurus and coaches, especially on these 90-day programs. They give up 25% of your profit and pay all the fees is absolutely astounding to me. And by the way, there's very few deals that get done in 90 days that need any type of fix and flip. But what I'm saying is, if you attract people looking for hard money, if you go to any of these meetups or anything like that, it's a perfect lead funnel for you to pair up and do JV deals with new people. I'm telling you guys, it works all the time. I used to run ads just for hard money, and I got tons of leads from newbies. Now, some of them were really bad deals, but for the most part, it was definitely there. So, okay, let's keep moving. I'm going to pepper yours in with mine. So this next one is, I mean, it's right up there with code violations, and most of you guys don't even push on this one. And this one's 100% for free. And I don't know why you guys don't use it, because you guys talk to these people every day. You just use them for a certain service, but you don't understand the type of information you could actually get from them. You ready for this? Your title companies. Yes, they know everything going on in your local real estate market, hands down. Now, why are they so valuable? Number one, they know who the real buyers are in your market. They will help you with some of your best cash buyer lists. They're better than any dispo software you're ever going to use. You should get to know them. Number two, they know who the movers and shakers are in your market. If you don't know who they are, ask them. But just be super nice. Hey, who buys the most properties that comes in and out of your office? Most of them will just tell you. Number three, they know every deal that's falling apart that needs cash fast. If they know you're a no-hassle wholesaler that can fund deals and get them done, and you have buyers lined up to buy your deals, and they're perfectly comfortable doing your assignment of contracts, these are wonderful people. Guys, I get more distance from title companies than any other service I use, because they deal in hundreds of transactions a month. It's like, I'm not going to say like stealing, but the reality is they have a ton of intel. And if you're not pulling it out of your title company's head, you're missing the boat. These are wonderful, wonderful services. And they do more than just pull title and facilitate your closings. They know everything about everybody. They have an entire database of just cash buyers. They have an entire database of wholesalers. They'll tell you who screwed who for what. Don't get into the drama, get into the data, because data does not lie to you. And for this reason alone, title companies, if you have not harvested your title company yet, figure out how to do it. Number one, make sure you have a relationship with a title company where there is a individual owner, not a company owned one, not like American Title, which are they just have branches, and they mostly use realtors. Number two, make sure whoever you're dealing with at title company, you have their personal cell phone number so you have buy-in from them. And once you get to know these people and you take great care of them, holidays are coming around, guys. Take care of them with gifts, simple cards, thank you, birthday gifts, holiday gifts. God, chocolate goes a long way. Goes a long way in my hips too, but that's a different story. So the next one, guys, now we all talk about realtors, but we need to deep dive in and understand. We need to understand what types of realtors to look for. So the problem is you guys are being absolutely inundated with wholesale influencers telling you, search the MLS. It'll get you everything you need to know. Most of you know how that works out. It's mostly a course grab, because a newbie starting out in wholesaling, starting to talk to realtors is usually a nightmare. Why do I know that? Because I talk to you guys almost on a daily basis. So if we're going to identify realtors, there's only two types we're going to go and attack. That's it. Everything else, in my opinion, is just a waste of time, because after that, it's a complete crapshoot. The problem with a crapshoot, it's very expensive on time. Are you willing to call 10,000 people to maybe get 2 deals? If you are, go for it. I'm all for it. The problem is you got to get past the gatekeeper. In my opinion, realtors are worse than a receptionist at a lawyer's desk. You just can't get past them. So let's talk about the two. Number one, I like to do what I with realtors called pre-identified realtor leads. What is that? It's when you meet with a realtor that is okay working with a wholesaler that understands investment properties, and you teach them exactly what you're looking for. And here's what you do. I go, Susie, I'm so glad you took the time. Here's exactly what I'm looking for. When you get that house, maybe a house that you sold to a client, and then 10 years later, they want to sell it. And maybe it was a brand new house and they give it back to you, and you went to look at it for the listing and you were like, uh-oh, stains all over the ceiling. The kids are punching holes in the wall. The flooring's all ripped out. The AC's not working. It's just nasty. And you're telling her, if you put 30 grand into it, I might be able to get this sold for you. And when the most valuable data the realtor has is knowing their client's mindset. And a lot of clients will tell them, like, can't you just find someone just to buy it the way it is? I want to move on with my life. Bingo. That's where you pre-identify your realtor leads. You tell them, I'm looking for distressed houses, people who want to sell now that need to sell and don't have the money to fix it up. What's in it for the realtor? They get paid their full commission. They solve their seller's problem because the seller doesn't want people parading through there. And guys, these are the most valuable realtor leads I do. Period. Hands down, my favorite. If I only had to choose one, this would be it. If you pre-train your realtors, you can get exactly what you're looking for. But most of you go out to your realtors and go, oh, I'm a wholesaler. So if you have anything you need me to put an offer on, just call me right away. And that first month, they'll call you 4 or 5 times. And all of them are overpriced houses of people who just want to sell their house. And you're like, you can't make anything work. And guess what? That really goes, I'm not calling that Rick guy because he's just wasting my time. He hasn't like come through on one offer. And remember, your realtor is going to give you exactly what you ask for. So if you're not specific and you don't ask high-end quality questions, you're going to get crappy leads. And crappy leads, after a while, the realtor is just going to give up on you. And I don't want you to have to go through that stuff. But these by far are my favorite. These are the ones a great wholesaler understands. You find realtors go, listen, when you get that crappy house, call me. By the way, they all get a crappy house sooner or later. The question is, what do they do? Most of them, here's what most of them do. They try to just spruce it up with a handyman. Sometimes they pay for it themselves. Yes, there's good realtors out there that do that. Then they throw it on the market, and then cash buyers come in and insult the crap out of them. And the seller gets hurt. The realtor gets in fights, and they just wind up wasting 6 months of their life. So they do that a few times, and they go, okay, I'm going to call a guy like Rick, a wholesale that understands exactly what I want. And here's the really cool part. They'll tell you what their client's bottom line number is, and you can just figure out if you can put a deal together or not. That's it. Now, never promise to give the listing back to the realtor. It'll bite you in the butt. Don't. Go, listen, I'm going to buy it, pay you the full commission. If I decide to keep it and rehab it, I'll give you first shot at listing it. That is as far as you reach. Anything more than that, you're lying to them. And you can't last in this business if you lie to people. So I see more wholesalers make that commitment. I made that commitment in the beginning. And when I did relist it with them, they think it's okay to take 3 to 6 months to sell something. Guys, sometimes I want stuff sold in 3 to 7 days, not 3 to 6 months. So be very careful. That's the only thing that's ever like blown up on me. The other one is simply the old school expired realtor listings. I'm not crazy about these. Expired listings are expired for a reason. It's usually 3 things. 9 times out of 10, it's an absolutely crazy sell, like a seller that is completely unrealistic. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I need to blah, 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 blah. Number 2, you have a realtor that doesn't understand the market, and nor do they want to. They are on their high and mighty horse. They don't do a lot of transactions. They don't realize the market's shifted one way or the other. And they go, your house is worth what it was a year ago, and things have changed. Number 3, the house is just crappy, and they're representing it as a good house, and it's not a good house. Or number 4, it's a combination of all 3 things. Number 4, if it's a crappy house, a really bad realtor, an unrealistic seller, run. There's not enough time in the world to get that deal done. So my expired listings, if I bid on 100 of them, 5 of them get looked at, maybe 1 or 2 get accepted, and then maybe 1 goes through. That's how brutal it is. So I want you to know when you're doing those numbers, that's what you're up against. So if you're going to buy an MLS program and do it, number 1, these contracts, they all know not to make them assignable, which is counterproductive to what we do. And number 2, they all want a big fat earnest deposit. And number 3, they all want a proof of funds, which is going to kill most of you on this live stream. And if you understand that, why are you going to waste time chasing down? Yeah, they are technically free, but I'm just here to tell you, you've got to understand, expired listings are expired for a reason. It's because people just cannot handle a dose of reality. And unfortunately, the market will basically sober them up. So that's the word. The market is brutal to people. So we got to understand. Now, the next one, guys, this is a simple one. A lot of you overlook this because the advent of social media these days. A RIA meetup. RIA stands for Real Estate Investor Association. Now, my first 7 years starting out in wholesaling, I went to one of these meetups every month. Actually, I went to multiple. I had 4 in my area. I took over one. And guys, I love these things. I think they're great. I think they're actually a public service. Uh, it's not my cup of tea anymore, but basically a promoter, usually a wholesaler like myself, gets a group of people together. They talk about real estate investing. It's much more general. It's not just about wholesaling. They'll highlight wholesaling, but they'll do fix and flip. They'll do landlords. They'll do creative financing, the whole nine yards. And in there, you'll get landlords, you'll get cash buyers, you'll get lawyers. God knows the realtors go to there. You'll get hard money lenders. You'll get general contractors, title companies. Great place to go meet up with a lot of people. But here's the one thing most people are like, there's a lot of new hungry wholesalers out there. So I remember the first one I went to, people like, I go, no, I'll do anything to get a deal. I'd tell them. If people just took the time and spent like 30 minutes or an hour with me, I would have been so loyal to them. And I'm just telling you, there's a lot of Rick Ginns, there's a lot of Zach Ginn showing up to these meetings with the right attitude. They just don't have the knowledge. Let me tell you, you got the right attitude and you got the right work ethic. I don't care that you've never done a deal before. I know potential. Some of my best business partners I found through my RIA meetings because I knew what they could do. And some of these people are people you guys know nationally. I'm not going to mention names, but everybody starts somewhere. This is a great recruiting ground. You don't know, like, it's like the bodybuilders of wholesaling. You don't know who the Arnold Schwarzenegger walks in the door, but someone who's willing to go out. I had a gentleman give me 30 pre-foreclosures. I didn't know how to pull them. You know what I did? I went and knocked on every door. I got 2 deals off that list. I had no idea what I was doing. He helped me take the whole thing down. The guy wound up being a shyster anyways and didn't pay me, but that's some of the lessons we learned. But like, guys, by going to these RIA meetings, here's a little clue. You can usually get a free coupon to go to your first one for those of you on a budget. After that, it's between $10 and $20 a meeting. It's worth it. It does cost them money to have these things. Do not buy their packages there. So the promoter fills the seats. He puts 100 people in a seat. Some guy, slick dude or gal comes from out of town and they give a presentation on fix and flip or how to be your own contractor. And they sell a $3,000 package and they split it. And when I say split, the one guy splits town and you never see him again. And the promoter doesn't understand the product at all and can't help you out. So it's the reason I want you to buy it. Show up early and network in the lobby and stay late and network in the parking lot. Make sure you guys are safe. My best networking done down in these events are at the end in like the parking lot or the lounge. Go to the bar, go get a seltzer water for Rick, and go make a friend. Guys, some of my best friends to date are from these RIA meetings I went to. I love them. I know everybody wants to meet up online. Don't get me wrong. That's what I do with you guys. But I used to be an old school guy and do these things, and they worked. So do not overlook them. So Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I said. I'm getting old. Okay. Let's talk about the social media. We're just going to do a quick rundown, and I'm going to do the less traditional ones. So everybody knows social media. I'm not going to run through them. Number one, Facebook Marketplace. This is kind of like where thugs go to sell real estate. I don't know what else to tell you. It's rough. It's brutal. A lot of scam artists. You've got to filter a lot of people, but I have people getting deals off this all the time. For full disclosure, I put my deals on Facebook Marketplace, so you can make money off my deals. So there's a lot of JV opportunities to it, but you really have to vet people because some people have really bad intentions on these. And that's definitely there. Craigslist. Yeah, I said it, the old CL, it's old school. I still advertise on there with my employees and I still find deals every now and then. It's a pain in the butt. It has definitely changed over the last 10 years, but it still exists. We should just call it Rick's List because that's one of the ways I got started. Now, the next one, guys, when we're talking about social media or your digital bandit signs, go into the groups. Listen to me carefully on this one. If you have to zoom the camera in, I would zoom it in and pull you in right here. Stop spamming. Stop being one of these Telegram VAs that the guy goes, just spam every group you can. It usually has to do with cryptocurrency. They're so easy. Like people are literally wasting their time spamming. So If you go in the Wholesaling Houses for Real, our spam list is probably 25, 30,000 people deep. That's how bad it is. By the way, I believe it's 141,000 members. By the way, we are 1,000 away from being the absolute largest wholesaling Facebook group in the world. Pretty cool in 2.5 years, huh? Anyways, if you guys go on there, when you spam, you just go on a special list and we share it around the world. So we all know who the spammers are. You can't spam. It doesn't work. You have to use the old school tactics of actually building rapport with people. Start with the groups you're already a member of. So if you're in a dog or cat lovers group, you can sandwich in there, period. Go and make a cute graphic. Go use Chat GPT, use Bart, use whatever you got to do. And you can make a graphic. So if I was in a cat group, you can have a cat holding a "We Buy Houses" kitty sign and just say, listen, did you know that my love for cats is I also buy homes with cats in them. And if you need to sell a house, I'd be happy to help you out. Free cat goes with it. Something like that. But like I get a lot of deals, fishing groups and boating network groups, because they're like, okay, this guy's here. He's always posting. How do you deal with this house thing? Because I got a bad rental house. So I buy a lot of rental houses off of like the fishing community because everybody knows what I do. Now, it does not work if you go and spam them all. You just get blocked and you're wasting everyone's time. So if you're not part of the groups, take 90 days to join the groups, put in some organic post, and don't be a little spam. You know what I'm about to say. You know exactly what I'm about to say. Don't be that spam little, not going to use bad words here. I don't like, do you understand when you spam something, you just make yourself look like an idiot all day long. Spam is like cheating. It's like, I don't want a relationship. I just want the money. Here's an example of spam. If you go to like a meetup group and you walk in like a wholesalers event and it's like, give me all your cash buyers, give me all your cash buyers, give me all your cash buyers. I physically used to watch people spam a group like that. I just avoid them like the plague. That's all you can do. They're disgusting. And they do the same thing online. They hire VAs to do it. It's not the VA's fault. I don't blame them. It's your idiot boss that tells you to spam everyone. You're not going to get anywhere. And by the way, more influencers now cheat than ever before by hiring VAs. You know, there's companies you can go over in the Philippines and buy your social media. You can buy followers. You can buy subscribers. You can buy viewers. And if you ever want to know how you do it, you can go look on any of these social media apps that monitor engagement like Social Blade, and you'll see they'll have a giant spike. Like they get 5,000 viewers in like a week's period, and then it goes back down to zero. It looks like a cardiac machine. If you want to know if someone's for real, they're going to have steady action all year long. Those are people who actually put out content that actually do what they say, and they earn it. They earn it video by video, content by content, deal by deal in wholesaling. The scam artists all go out and try to buy because it's about their ego and they want to look really good. If you ever want to vet a person, just go look up their social media stats and see if they get an overnight spike in users. It's typically because they bought it. And you'll notice maybe once a quarter or twice a year they do that, and that's how they get most of their followers. It's fake. And by the way, just look up some of their followers. You can't pronounce one of the names. They have like a 6-month history. That means they're all fake. So I hate that part of social media. It's a pain in the butt. The next one, bandit comments. One of my favorite ones. Guys, it's not illegal. Like people keep writing me, "Oh, Rick, it's illegal. You're going to get me in trouble." It's not. It's fair. It's all fair game in wholesaling. It's all fair. There's nothing illegal about it. This is an example where a big wholesaler or a big buy company, I'm not going to use names because I get in trouble on this, but there's a company out there that buys ugly houses all the time. I don't know if they wrap their name around it, but they do these ridiculous ads in my community. And on these ads, they put up a landing page, they put a phone number, and they put a click-through action. Here's the cool part is nobody monitors the comments because they're too cheap. And so you got Mr. Big Bad Corporate Investor says, the corporate media guy goes, listen, I can monitor comments, but it's $1,500 more a month. He goes, screw that. I'll do it myself. Guess what? He or she never monitors them. So when they put it in, they go, how quickly do you close on houses? Bam. That's where my ghost comment goes in there, my bandit comment. And I immediately hit them and I get in their DMs and then I buy their house. That's it. Speed to lead wins in wholesaling. So while this other company is spending $5,000 a month thinking they're hitting out of the park, I'm spending zero. Guerrilla marketing warfare 101. And I'm going in the comments and I'm taking leads away from them, because the rules on social media is all corporate platforms that manage people's social media feeds. They tell them you cannot turn off your comments on ad. Why? Because it seems fake. It's not authentic. So you have an option. You turn them off. You don't have to deal with it, but then no one's going to click on your ad. Or you leave them on, but you have to manage them. Nobody ever manages them. 9 out of 10 people never manage them. By the time they get around managing, they delete your comment. The damage is already done. So guys, if you'll use this technique, not only is it free, it's extremely effective. And it is what I call the sniper position of wholesaling. Guys, these are all the tactics I used when I started out in wholesaling. And you've got to be resourceful to do it. Otherwise, because a lot of your competitors, they're spending 5 to 10 grand for a guru, which doesn't care if they win or lose, because once they pay them, they've already won. Then that guru is telling them you got to mail 5 to 10 grand a month. And then you got to do pay per click, all this other stuff. And meanwhile, they don't even know how to talk to a seller. So how are they going to handle all these leads? And after that, after they get 20, 30 grand in debt, they do one deal and they make 5 grand and they think they hit it out of the park. The problem is everybody has to go through the wholesaling journey, and it's going to be no different. You have to do it. Now, while we're talking about it, let's not overlook Zillow Fizbos. Now, they are plentiful. And honestly, I'd rather you go chase Zillow Fizbos than go on the MLS and bug a bunch of real estate agents, because the only saving grace on, so Zillow, listen, you got pictures, you got a price, you got a person to talk to, you're direct to the homeowner. But keep in mind, you're dealing with an owner that thinks they're not fond of realtors, which we all agree on that. But a lot of time, these people are like pie in the sky type of people. So when I focus on the Zillow Fizbos, I usually look for them at least 100 days or older. Some of you push it out to 179, 180 days. I'm fine with that. There's nothing worse than calling on a fresh Zillow Fizbo. It's painful. There's no other word for it. But at least you are direct to the seller. And if you can engage them and connect with them, but keep in mind, they don't like dealing with realtors, and they're not much a bigger fan of dealing with wholesalers, just to be fair on that. But they are free. They are direct to seller. And I do endorse them. I will tell you this, you're going to need a tremendous amount of volume to make this work. There's no way around it. A tremendous amount of volume to make it work. Now, I'm going to leave you with the other basic one. And actually, let me go on here because I had some, let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, here it is. So Isaiah put on a hospice nurse. I'm going to tell you to bypass this one. And listen, Isaiah, I appreciate the resourcefulness, but yeah, this hits a trigger because I've been in hospice twice with my own family. This is not the time to approach the family, and then the hospice nurse, under HIPAA requirements, they can't do anything anyways. So they're highly trained to keep their mouth shut. I'm not a big fan of obituaries either, but I mean, I'll applaud the resourcefulness. There's a certain part of stuff I think can go over the line in this business, but I'm not, it's a good one. I wouldn't do it. If you're comfortable doing that, great. I've got someone put on here, land cleaning companies. Possible. So here's one that I hear people talk about all the time. Get leads from funeral directors and charities. Now, charities is not a bad one. Do you know churches get a lot of properties donated to them? Churches in particular. Now, churches don't want to keep the property. They want the money for it to fund their churches and to give to their charitable organizations. So that's a possibility. Funeral directors, I don't think you're going to get very far with that one. I love the resourcefulness of it. But once again, it's like, If you're going to do that, just switch over to the obituaries, because you got to understand the funeral director is not going to give out private family information for obvious reasons. So they're very trained on it. So I wouldn't do it. But like, these are all great answers, guys. This is why I love talking to you guys about all this stuff. And okay, let me jump back. And here's the last one we're going to go over. And then if you guys want to jump on a live, I put the link towards the top of the comments under Rick Ginn if you want to hop on there. As long as I got people to talk to, I'll connect with you. Guys, I know it's Labor Day, but like I don't differentiate between like work days and off days. Like I know that sounds weird, but I really enjoy what I do. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because I see this comment on here, and then I'll show the last one on here. And I appreciate you. Steve says you guys pump out the content. I can barely keep up. Here's the deal is, me and Zach don't have production crews. We do all this ourselves. You know why? Because when you really do this business for a living and it's your main focus, you don't have to make shit up. You just do it. You just, hey, I got this deal. Let's work on this. Hey, I got this caller. Let's talk to him. Let's do cold calls. Let's do this. Guys, all I do is turn on the camera and shoot. I do have editors. I do have a social media person. But at the end of the day, if there's something important, we just get in front of the camera and shoot. Do you think I got anybody working today other than me and Zach? No. But me and Zach worked all day today. I don't look at it as work. I look at it as an investment in my company, an investment in myself when I do it. So the reason why me and Zach put out more content than anyone else, because we don't overthink it and we just shoot. And the more information I can share with you guys, the better I can make you, the more deals you guys will do with me. And I understand that. I completely leave my ego at the door. I don't care. I have never, ever owned a teleprompter. I don't even know how to use a teleprompter. And I wouldn't know what to do if you put me in front of one. Every influencer I know, for the most part, all their videos, they take weeks, if not months, to produce them. They're all perfectly choreographed. The teleprompter is perfect. You guys know I don't do any of that. You hear how fast I talk. Sometimes I mumble over my words. I have ADHD. I don't care. What's most important is I get over myself and I just get the content out there. And that's all I ever focus on. And sometimes the content hits. Sometimes you guys like, I don't know what you were thinking, Rick, but it is what it is. The last one you guys overlook massively is just driving for dollars. This is a tried and true list I used from day one. I still use it to this day. It's one of my favorite ways to get deals, because when you can put eyes on a property and it looks rough, and then you can call and reach out and get the seller and find out the story behind it. That's how you put the absolute best deals out there, without a doubt. I'm just driving for dollars seems so below me. Okay, whatever. You put me in any neighborhood. If that would be the first tactic I did. You drop me in any of your markets. I've talked about Zach doing this, possibly doing some sort of prize, something where we have a contest, we have a winner, and we go out and spend like 2-3 days in your entire market. We're probably going to spend one entire day doing driving for dollars. That's how important it is to me. Because at the end of the day, do you want to like feel cool and like take pictures with people and have people sign books? Or do you want to get a deal? What's more important to you? Is it your ego or your wholesale portfolio? Based on social media, it's people's ego. Guys, me signing a book is not going to make you a better wholesaler. So when me and Zach do our 2 live events a year, which we got one coming up October 23rd or 24th, we just go 2 full days of just talking about wholesaling. We don't talk about how great Rick and Zach is, because it's pointless. We're over ourselves. We don't care. We just want to focus. We don't sign stuff. We don't do any of that, because it at the end of the day, if I can't help you get a deal, I don't feel fulfilled at the end of the day. And so that's what you got to understand. Driving for dollars, guys, way overlooked. It works so well. It's dynamite. And that's what you're going to do. So let me answer some questions. If you guys want to hop on a one-on-one, I will answer as many questions as I have there. I had a couple questions on here I want to get answered for you guys. Who says Rick and Zach have to be the realist? I'll take that as a compliment. What's up, Bill? Bill, the Spaminator. So if you guys, Bill is actually in my local market, and Bill was around. Correct me if I'm not wrong. Bill was around when I started a lot of this stuff. So me and Bill have done deals together. Bill's a great guy. He understands the fundamentals of wholesaling, and he's a really great guy. So if you want to connect with him, um, really, really good guy. And to me, I love connecting with people like more than anything. It works really well. Um, so Steve's got a question here. Rick, do you ever get any creative deals from FSBO? Yes, actually quite a few. Or do they usually just want retail or conventional? Listen, when you're doing a FSBO, most of them are married to their price. So how all real estate works is either you're getting a phenomenal price or you're giving away the terms. So FSBO is a perfect place if someone's so stuck on their price. If the property's right and it's in the right area and you can make the cash flow work and they'll give you terms, you can actually make them work there. You're going to have to go through a lot of quantity to make it work, but honestly, it's one of the best places you can go. So, and then my boy Luca, which knows this well, Bail Bonds Company, which he's right. I've put it in my stuff before. Bail bondsmen's, they're like, well, what the hell's a bail bondsman's have to do with real estate? The crazy part is bail bondsmen's constant. So they basically, when people get arrested, they have to put something up to get out on bail. So if somebody had a say $100,000 bail, which is a big amount, you usually got to put up 10% of it. Most people don't have 100 grand, so they put a lien against the house. These bail bondsmen always want to be in a first position, so they look for houses that are free and clear. And I found this out by negotiating a mortgage with a bail bondsman and find out they had 8 more properties. We wound up buying 2 of them. And it was an incredible lesson for me. I didn't realize how many properties they put liens on. And 9 times out of 10, these people don't have the ability to pay off the lien. And remember, the bail bondsman just wants to get their basic insurance premium fees. And the only way they can do it is foreclose. Foreclosure is expensive. So if they can get a cash guy like me or someone to wholesale the house, they work out really, really well. And for that reason, you guys want to understand on how to do that. So once again, guys, if you are new to wholesaling, here's what I want you to do. Or if you're just, you're in a rut or you're stuck, you're like, man, I can't get this thing going. What I want you to do is go over to freewholesaling.com. I will put it on the bottom right here for you so you can't miss it. It's scrolling on the bottom there, and we'll go from there. So you want to do that? To all the I've talked to today. Oh, they're mad. Yeah, well, whatever. They can be mad at you. See, I love how you guys answer the questions in here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is, you got any questions, put them in the comment section. If you want to hop on here and do a live, I'm going to jump on and slide Ryan in here. Ryan, you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing? How's your Labor Day going?
It's going, man. I can't really complain. And you?
Hey, can't complain. It's a great day. About to go get some barbecue in a little bit, but
Dude,
just
don't.
a little bit of wholesaling.
I got to figure out what my wife's cooking. Sometimes it ain't that good. Don't tell her I said that, dude. I've been married.
What?
I've been with her over 30 years, so we're good. But
Yes, sir. No, it's my girlfriend. Her mom's cooking, so I was like, and I don't eat pork, so like, oh, we got beef ribs, so come on over. I'm like, all right, we'll see about it.
there
So,
you
but I
go,
haven't
man.
we went over yet. So, but no reason why I was wanting to jump on the live stream. For one, I wanted to tell you thank you for the information you gave me about the bail bonds because I started calling the bail bonds, and I have she gave me a few properties to actually go up there. I actually having my partner go up there and pick up some more from her. But the main problem was one of the people that she's having a problem with. I tried calling them and they're not answering the phone. When I do kind of get in contact with them, they just blow me off and hang up the phone call before I can even explain who I am or what I'm doing. So should I just send in a letter to them or just try to contact through other family members? What should I do to be able
Well,
to get?
the letter's not going to get anywhere. So you you just got to be kind of indiscriminate when you contact them. They're not into the whole. Bail bondsmen are very. How can I say this? They're very cold. They don't want to hear the story. Most bail bondsmen, I mean, it's usually passed down generation to generation. So some of these families have like 100 years like experience. So they're much, much more experienced than you. And you just got to, they're kind of like working with lawyers. Like the only way I could penetrate lawyers is when I got them to a closing table. And then they go, okay, he's actually going to do what he says. And then I say, listen, if you have any other probate deals, I would love to get a shot to buy them. Until I went to the table, they didn't give me the time of day. After that, they called me much more willingly. Same thing in bail bonds. They're not big on guys like me telling you guys to reach out to them because they don't like it. So number one, you can research them by liens. They put liens on properties, and you can start calling them and say, "Listen, would you be?" You can ask them a simple question: would you be interested in selling your liens? In
Oh no,
essence,
no. I may have said it wrong. I apologize.
yeah,
Like it's not a bail bond. Like the bail bondsmen are giving me the information like it's going out of style. Like they were definitely wanting to work with me. My problem is with the actual homeowner and me getting in contact with them. Should I send them a letter because I tried calling them and
yes.
everything. They're not getting through.
Yeah,
Like
the letter's not going to kill it. And remember, you just sometimes, so you can take it a step further with a bail bondsman, ask them to give you like a warm lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you just warm me up a little bit? There's a huge difference in our business. If someone just goes, hey, I got my buddy here, Ryan. He's in your backyard. I trust him a lot. And I've talked to him quite a few times. He knows a lot about real estate. Do you mind if I have him give you a call? Just a simple intro like that, it's like night and day. When I listen, guys, anytime we reach out to someone cold, it's a fight. It just, you know it going into it. We don't like people calling us cold, so they're going to do the same thing. And keep in mind, I would only look at the when you contact those homeowners, you can't tell them I got your information from a bail bondsman unless it's a really pressing like issue. Just hey, listen, I drove by your house. Looks like a great house to buy. Are you interested in selling it? And then let them bring out their drama because people don't like to be embarrassed. Listen, a lot of people got like a lot of dirt in their skeletons. We're not here to, if you embarrass someone, you will never get a deal. And all you do is just keep calling on until someone connects with you. A lot of times, listen, when they put that lien on the house, they either got to make payments or get it paid off, or they're going to lose the house. These bail bondsmen do not play. It is their livelihood. Like that's how I found out about it. I'm like, holy crap. I found one with 57 liens they did in 1 month.
oh wow.
We have some places where a lot of people get arrested. And listen, even if they put a lien for $1,000 or $2,000, they've got to get it squared up because that paperwork is written very one-sided. If they don't square it up in 6 months, a lot of them are going to lose the house to foreclosure. They will force it one way or the other. They don't care. So it's. I would just approach them as a regular guy looking to buy the house. The only ones would be the exception is when they put on like monster liens that like I've seen some like 30, $40,000 and the bail bondsman really wants his money bad. And so that would be one where I go, listen, can you just tell Jan I'm going to call her? And like, because he told her, he goes, do you have to sell it or I'm going to take it to court and you're going to lose everything. So those are the only ones I would make the exception for when we do it. But remember, guys, everyone who gets a DUI out there, which I don't know if you guys are around on these Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, these checks, I mean, they are locking and loading them up like everywhere. And I'm just here to tell you, all these people need help. And if they need help, that's where we reach out and we help them out. Bail bondsman is unique and is different. I found it by accident. Um, it's not for the faint of the heart, but I'm glad you're having at least success talking to them. But with the homeowners, I would expect resistance no matter what, even if they came out from a regular cold call deal.
Okay. Okay.
Does it make
And one
sense?
other, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. One other thing too, in your comments, uh, there's a gentleman by the name of Brandon Mitchell, and I think another one was Sands Realtor. I guess they're in Vegas. I left my email, guys. You know, reach out to me, and we could probably do some deals together. Like I'm interested and really eager to try to get it going. So it's a shout out to them.
There
But
you go.
thank you,
Which market are you in again, Ryan?
Las Vegas and San Bernardino County.
Awesome. Awesome. So San Bernardino, that's California?
Yes, sir. California and Nevada, like Clark County and San Bernardino County.
Got it. So in 2020, 2024. So in 2025, me and Zach are going to be heading out to California to do a Flip with Rick live event. So I'll keep you updated on it. A lot of people in the San Bernardino area, a lot.
Yeah,
So be on the
I remember.
lookout for it.
Yeah, I remember when you're talking about going to the meetups and stuff like that. There's like 4 or 5 of them coming up, like because I'm on Meetup,
Yeah,
so all of them coming up. Somebody to go to all of those. So that like everything you're saying is so powerful. Thank you. I appreciate
definitely.
it.
Okay, Ryan, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You have
Okay,
a
see you. So, guys, I left out one thing here that we have to review here. So, when we talk about all these people are asking me, "Hey, Rick, how do we connect with these people?" So, all these different types of free lead sources I gave you for wholesaling is simple. So, how do we connect with these leads? Predominantly three distinct ways. Let's not reinvent the wheel here. Okay, we're not doing direct mail. Number one, it's slow. Number two, most of you don't know how to do it. Number three, I don't want to complicate it and get you in a big direct mail program in the beginning. When you get to 5 deals, I'll show you how to scale and use direct mail. But I got to get you to 5 deals. Why? I got to make sure you know what you're doing in wholesaling. I got to make sure you're absolutely committed. People say, how do I know that I'm really cut out for wholesaling? 5 deals. Statistically proven, if you do 5 deals, it means you have the skill sets to make it wholesaling. And if you apply yourself on a daily basis, you can hit it out of the park. So, how do we connect? Number one, cold calling. Very straightforward, very simple. We don't need to complicate this, guys. We have to understand that cold calling is just the art of looking someone up. You can go into X Leads, the software me and Zach own, promote, train, and do everything on that. And you can get a number for as little as 7 cents, or you could go online and get it for free. You don't need X Leads. And you could use truepeoplesearch.com or cyberbackgroundchecks.com, and that will work just as well. Now, if you're not going to do that, the next method is once you already have their phone number and you're going to call them, number two is text. Texting's very powerful. It's very quick. You have to skip trace their phone number. So once you just skip trace, I'm going to cold call them and I'm definitely going to text them. Step number three, if you're doing this locally, if you have those lists, you can do reverse driving for dollars where you leave a note on their door. Highly, highly effective. A great way to get everything going. And I want you to understand how to do this, guys. So today, I don't know how many we went through, probably at least a dozen. If you want to learn more on how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com, teach you how to do it from head to toe. And keep in mind, we add modules in there all the time and we just keep expanding on it. And it works really, 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 really well on that. So, let me put it on here. So guys, on the bottom, I put on here is our Discord community. So zachdiscord.com, if you want to go on there. We go on live every Friday night and we talk extreme detail on wholesaling. It's really good because you can segment the whole thing out. You can do creative financing. You can do wholesaling. We break it down by which areas you guys are all in and what types of wholesaling you want to talk about. So we talk about people with no money. We talk about people that have money. And by the way, if you guys want to do JV deals, go into zachdiscord.com. We're doing a ton of deals with inside there. I think we did 4 last week alone. And it is a great way for newbies to hook up with people that are vetted. And all my Flip with Rick Plus members are in there. They'll have a special little symbol on them. You meet people like Jason, Ace, Luca, and these are all great guys, and they're very reputable, and they're people I trust. And if I ever have a problem, I just call them up. We work it out. I never have problems with them because they've been trained by me and Zach, and they're very good at what they do. And remember, I'd rather you make some money than no money, and so you got to get in there and get deals done. Check it out at zachdiscord.com, and we go live every Friday night. Also, I'll be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Flip with Rick. And that's always a good time. And then I'll be back on with my son, Zach, on Thursday. Remember, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we do a 100% live support call on X Leads. Yes, me and Zach actually do it. We walk you through. We show you how we use it in our business. We solve problems you guys are dealing with. And remember, we have an actual phone line you can call. There's an email for support. And you could obviously always reach out to me and Zach. So that is it, guys. So let's see here if I have any more questions. We got the Zach Discord out of the way. I'll be on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Check it out. We got a really cool topic on there. And guys, do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Rick Ginn channel. That is the best payment you can make to me because I don't ask for any money from you. So share this link with someone that thinks got value from it. Make sure you check out my son's channel on zachginn.com. And guys, have a good one. I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. See you.